Oh, welcome back, guys, to Women Empowerment Wednesday. Today we have the beautiful Betsy, who is a New York native. And today we're going to talk about life transitions, navigating unexpected loss, and just starting over, reinventing yourself from being like a stay at home mom. So you're doing it all the way from scratch. So, Betsy, again, thank you for being here. So, can you
Right.
briefly just introduce yourself? You're welcome. And just tell us a little bit about your life before everything changed.
Yes. So my name is Betsy Ronell, and before I got married, I was a publicist at high fashion brands in New York City. Then I got married. I chose to be a stay-at-home wife and mother. It wasn't about money. It was that I wanted to have children, and I just wanted to be with them all day long and be a wife
Mhm.
as well. And I didn't care if we lived in a trailer or if we lived in a mansion. It didn't matter. I just wanted to be a mom, full-time mom. So my
I
future
love
husband
it.
understood that. Yeah, and we were both on the same page. But my father warned me. He said, you should never, ever 100% attach yourself to a man because you never know what's going to happen. I was like, no, this is one of the good ones. I'm not worried. And I wasn't worried. He was a flawless husband. But he did
Oh.
die, yeah, in a car accident, which was unexpected. And then my life blew up and I had to reinvent. It's taken 15 years. I'm still going, but it's taken 15 years for me to finally feel like I'm kind of landing in
Yeah.
semblance of a new normal. 15 years. It's a long time. Yeah.
And I believe it. And that's like you said, is a traumatic experience to again when it's unexpected, it's like how do you even navigate that? So from what I know about Betsy, she is very strong-willed. She has a good heart. So all the blessings that are going to come her way and continue flourishing, they're going to show through her work. So
Thank you.
yes, you're welcome. So can you share just as much as you feel comfortable about the moment your life shifted after losing your husband?
So, you know, it's even hard to remember the specific moment because it's a snowball effect. You don't
Mhm.
even realize how your life has changed because there are property taxes to start thinking about paying. Is the
Mhm.
electric bill to think about paying. There is I had all the kid stuff. So like I was great all day long. Even first of all, you're so when even when someone has a diagnosis, that's for a long prolonged death. That's the first death among many with
Right.
someone who has an illness. That's like death by 1,000 cuts, and it's relentless. And then when they finally
Yeah.
pass, that's a new level of grief. But for me, sudden death, like there is no opportunity to get things in place. Okay, wait, this is the plan, and then suffer
Right.
the final loss. So you don't even realize what you're in for, and life has already been like, sorry, you've changed lanes. Like you're
Yeah.
still waiting here. So, but it has a snowball effect. You don't even realize what's going on. And what I was about to say was, so like I was great all day long because I had the mom thing, the housewife thing down. I missed my husband a little bit during the daytime, but I was used to
Yeah.
not having him around. But I missed calling him, texting him. So that was really sad. But functionality wise, I was good all day. Then the night hit, and that's when like the grief would just come out every day because
Okay.
I had our family business, the business of being a family down pat. It was flawless. And
Yeah.
it just it's hard to put into one situation, one moment, because there's so many moments of when you realize it's just continuing and it's falling apart and blah.
Yeah. And I feel like as a mom, like you said, you have that down pat. And so I feel like sometimes we just have to keep going because we don't have a choice.
We
So it's
don't.
like we over function and we continue to go. And like even for myself, like sometimes I feel like I have function and depression because,
Yeah,
at the end of the day, like if I don't do it, it's not going to get done. So
for sure.
it's constant. So we function, but we're not at our best place. And then, like you said, at night is when you're sitting alone with your thoughts, and it's kind of like it hits you like a semi,
Yeah,
coming crashing through. So
yeah,
um, it,
exactly.
it definitely can be a lot. So, what did the season look like emotionally as a woman and a mother?
So as a woman, that was really strange because we had a lovely life together, a beautiful sex
Hmm.
life. Like we were very much in love, very happily married.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
And then you're like, wait a minute. So all of that, the intimacy is gone. So as a
Yeah.
woman, I mean, I personally felt quite vulnerable because you have those old stories of like the women dressing in black and they can't, do you sort of just
Yeah.
from this, I don't know, enigma sort of, but I don't know. As a woman, I think I shut down. I really like, I
Okay.
even say to this day, I'm like, from the neck down, nobody exists here anymore. Like, I don't even realize my own sexuality anymore. Like, for me to even
Yeah.
be in a I'm just so hot right now because it's turned summer in New York. So I'm hot. So I'm wearing a V-neck shirt. But like, I'm at home. But normally when I'm out like this, I even feel a little uncomfortable now. And I am not a prude.
Yeah.
I am not like a religious person. I just feel very vulnerable as a
Okay.
woman, I guess. Not safety wise, like someone comes to me, they need to watch out. But in
Right.
society, I don't know, like, I guess, I don't know. Yeah, there's a vulnerability to me in terms of sexuality, I think,
Okay.
it hasn't left. And then as a mother, I mean, it's like you were saying, mothers don't stop. We don't stop
No.
because something's happened. It doesn't matter if it's a death, if it's somebody needs to be fed, somebody needs care, you still
Yes.
need to perform. And while my children were grieving as well, of course, they still were very, very little. They needed their mom.
Yeah.
So you just, like women do. Women should all come with capes. I mean, we are just, even if we're not mothers, there's something very special about women. Like, we're just
We're
built different.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean,
again, we persevere and just push through everything resilient. Like we
yeah,
still show up no matter what is against us. We
yeah,
still show up with a
yeah.
smile.
Correct.
Um,
Always. And we take a lot of like hits all day long and we just
yes,
keep going. Like, when a girl is
exactly.
born, she should come out with a cape on her back because,
And a crown.
yes, correct. Don't forget, there's my crown. Look, see my crown? Always.
I
Yep.
love it.
Someone
That
gave
looks
that to
like the
me
one I
once.
have.
Isn't that
And
funny?
it's very fitting.
Thank
But it's
you.
very true. And I feel
Yes.
like it's just in us. Like
Yeah.
you can't teach it. It's a natural instinct to just continue to provide and nurture.
Yes.
And when we do that, sometimes we don't take care of ourselves
Correct.
because we're putting so much good out there in the world. But we're beautiful. We're one of God's greatest creations. What I'll
Women are
say to the man
amazing. Yeah.
upstairs.
Yeah. And, and I always knew women were wonderful and my girlfriends were always great, but I never realized how strong we are as a people
Yeah.
as until I got older and I saw all that women of all walks of life deal with, and I
Hmm.
could appreciate and understand it. I mean, just this is why everyone's scared of us, because we're so amazing. And they won't
Exactly.
make
And
one of us
powerful
cousins. Yeah.
without even being powerful.
Correct.
So you had touched on grief, and that was going to be my next question. How did you manage to navigate your own grief while still showing up for the kids? Because
It
I know
was
that had to be a lot.
It was awful. I mean, that was really so hard because there are days, and anyone who's been through any kind of grief, job loss, house loss,
Hmm.
whatever, relationship loss, a pet loss, you don't want to get out of bed some of those days. And you shouldn't have to. But when you
Exactly.
have children, you have to continue to perform, or when you're a caregiver, you have to perform. So that was very hard. And to be honest, I don't really remember the first 2 years because I slept a lot.
Oh, okay.
I know I took them to school and I picked them up from school, but I also had a very tight knit community of friends. And so a lot of them were like, you know what, we've got them this way. They didn't even ask because they knew I would say no, but they would just,
Yeah.
you're coming with me tomorrow. We're going to pick you up. And so there was a lot of like family sharing going on, which
Okay.
I just
And I
slept.
love that.
Yeah.
That's so important.
Yeah.
That's so important.
My community just stepped in. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like God always aligns the right people at the right time
Oh,
to
yeah.
just, again, like you said, they weren't someone waiting for you to ask. They're just saying, like, come on, all right, 3:30, I'm coming to get you. You're spending the
Exactly.
night over here. I'll take
Yeah.
you to school. I'll
Yes.
pick you up from there. And that's what makes it takes a village. It really does.
It
Like they
takes
say it
village.
loosely, but it
Yeah.
does.
That's very true. And I am here because of my village. Yeah.
Hmm.
And so are my
Same
kids.
here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, what did healing look like for you in those early days within like those first 2 years?
I was just free falling. I was not healed.
Yeah.
I didn't know. You desperately want to be healed. You're like, okay, this has to be over now because it's such immense pain. I don't
Mhm.
think our body, I think our bodies and minds are totally out of sync for a very long time with this kind of shock because it's kind of like I asked doctors, I said, my brain doesn't work anymore. And they're like, well, sudden shock, sudden death like that is like a traumatic brain injury on some level. So your body
Okay.
and your brain and your psyche, everything is like, it's like I had the car crash. It's like I just hit a wall and
Yeah.
everything just, I don't disintegrated. I mean, I couldn't
Yeah.
even form a sentence properly. I lost my vocabulary. I couldn't keep a straight thought. It was very, very odd. So I think in the first 2 years, and again, like I said, we want to heal. We want to be like, okay, so this happened and now we can move forward. We don't want to deal with this. But the thing
Yeah.
about grief is you try and run from it, it's going to be waiting for you.
It's going to be waiting for you wherever you run to.
Correct. Correct. So you can try and hide, but it's like, hello, I'm right here because I have something to teach you.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
it does not run away with you. So it's just, I'm still healing 15 years later.
Yeah.
I've
Of
healed
course.
bits and pieces, and what happens with grief is, again, of any kind, is you learn to live with it. You walk with it instead of hiding from it or going
Right.
against it or avoiding it. You learn to walk with grief. And after
Right.
after the first 2 years when I slept, it was weird. I suddenly woke up and I was like, okay, I need a boyfriend. Like, this is not right. My children need a father figure. They had the best dad for them. They did not need a father figure. But I got in my head, and so did some of my girlfriends, like, well, you're not getting any younger. You better find someone. I mean, it was ridiculous. But I was like, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. My mother was like, that's absurd. You should not do that. And I was like, you don't know, Mom. Meanwhile, my mom didn't know. So I went and I found myself a boyfriend who looked really good on paper, but
Okay.
he was just, I didn't realize how angry I was. And so what water seeks its own level, my mother would say. I attracted a very angry and evil man into our lives. And I stuck around with that for like a year and a half. I knew his kids. He knew my kids. It was just a mess. And then finally, after the first total 3.5 to 4 years, I woke up and I remember where I was. I was on a ski lift in Santa Fe and I was looking down and I was like, all right, grief, I'm ready. Let's go. What do you have for me? I mean, it was really monumental. And I was like, I am so scared, but I will deal with you now.
Oh, and that gave me chills because, like you said, it was just like in that exact moment. It's just like, all right. It's like a fight or flight. It's like sink or, we're going to sink or swim. Like, what are we doing?
I'm done running. I'm done sleeping. I'm done shopping. I'm done with this stupid boyfriend. Where are we? What are we doing here? Hello.
Yeah.
Good to meet you. Grief. Yeah, that's what it was. I remember the exact
and facing it head on, like you said. And it's hard. It will never be easy. But again, you have to walk the walk with it. You can't run the opposite direction because it's going to be all these, like you said, built up feelings. And then you're going to look back thinking that you resolved something, but you really haven't.
You haven't.
Yeah.
And listen, this has been many, many lessons since then. So again, I'm like, okay, enough with the please, like, let me catch up on the learning.
Yes.
Please.
And that's what I say to God, like, please, just give me a moment. Like, I don't want to have the strongest package anymore. Like, I feel like I've learned my lesson. I just want to coast for like at least a month. Like, give it to me, please.
Yeah, we're good. On
exactly.
to the next person for a while. Yeah. Right?
Please.
Yeah.
So. But you're handling it with grace. And again, like you said, and like Betsy has said, everybody, is that it's never ending. Like, it's always a journey, just like healing is just always a journey. So do a little bit every day. And over time, you'll look back and like over 15 years, you probably look back and, notice like, oh, if I would have did this differently, or, I'm surprised that I'm at this point now. Yeah. So it's important to deal with it. And then again, seek your comfort zone, seek your community, your village. That's extremely important. Do not try to navigate it alone.
No.
There's always someone out there who will, be an ear to listen. Sometimes that's all we need.
Yes. I mean, whether it's a therapist, a psychiatrist, your physician, your internist, your PCP, your pastor, a parent, a trusted friend, just talk to people who can understand, and they don't even need to have a solution. Just if you can get it off your chest sometimes and like let the pressure out of the balloon a little bit.
Exactly.
But you look back and you're like, oh, why did I do this and that and the other thing? The boyfriend for me was one of those, oh, why did I do that? But you do. But
it's a learning. You have to learn as you go.
Yes. And you can only do what you can do from what you know at that point. I mean, you can't do better than you know. So
exactly.
Be forgiving of yourselves is also something I advise for anyone going
Give
through.
yourself grace.
Yeah.
Too, as well.
Yeah.
So then as a stay-at-home mom at that time, how did your identity shift after everything happened?
Oh my God. That was really hard too, because I didn't have to go back to work for a long time, which was great. But I was like, I'm a stay-at-home, I'm a housewife. And I was like, well,
Yeah.
actually, I'm not. I'm a house widow. I mean, the whole thing was just ridiculous to me. I was still a
Yeah.
stay-at-home mom, but but when you don't have your husband to care for anymore, that's the kids are one thing, but the husband is something else, and you just you lose. I didn't lose my purpose as a mother, but I lost my purpose as a wife, and I really was very
Yeah.
proud to be someone's wife and to be my husband's wife and take care of him. And I liked being
Yeah.
a homemaker. I really did. It was all I ever dreamed about growing up. I never dreamed of being a doctor or a
Oh,
lawyer. I had very simple desires. I was very simple about it. And so from going from that simple life, I was thrown into grown-up world of, okay, well,
yeah.
somebody's got to start working and somebody's got to start paying bills now because, I mean, we were young when he died. It's not like we had gazillions of dollars.
Yeah.
There was a limit. And so I was like, well, shit, I was a publicist before.
Okay.
And do I want to go back to that now? No, I need something where I can still be accessible to my kids and close by to my kids. I didn't want to travel
Yeah.
to the city. So I went into real estate, which is a wonderful career for women later in life, second careers if people need like extra income. You don't do
Yeah.
that unless you do this full time. So I was able to dive in full time. And
Nice.
yeah, it's been a very wonderful and rewarding career, and it's female dominated, which is
I
great too.
love it.
Yeah, yeah, it's a great thing.
Okay. So I know that you mentioned like having to start over as far as like bills and everything like that. So how was that like not having any credit, no financial foundation?
Yeah.
Like how tell us about that.
Great question. So, for anyone who has signed up to be someone's wife and stay at home mom, if you don't exercise your own credit, you won't exist in the credit world. And
Yeah.
so, we had a mortgage on our house, and I could afford to pay the mortgage. This is how naive I was. And now I deal with mortgages all the time. I deal with real estate all the time. So, this is how naive I was. I said to the mortgage company, they're like, well, how are you going to pay this? I said, well, I'm paying it. What's the problem? Just put my name on it. And
Mhm.
they were like, no, that's not how this works. And they said, Mrs. Ronell, you don't understand. You don't exist in this world. Like, you don't have a credit card. You don't really have a credit score. I don't think
Wow.
I didn't exist. I had a social security number, but I didn't exist. I had nothing in my own name. Sure,
Okay.
the deed on the house was in my name and his, but the mortgage was, I guess it was, yeah, it was in his name because
Just in
he
his.
for it. Yeah. And the credit cards I had were under his name. They had my name
Okay.
on it. They were his account. The electric bill was in both of our names, but he was paying for it. I mean, just like I didn't exist.
Yeah.
And it was, you don't even realize that. And you have to, so then the way I was like, what do I do? So I talked to my bank and they're like, so when people declare bankruptcy, what they do is they get a prepaid credit card. They pay like $500 or $1,000 or $2,000 to the card. And then you get to
Okay.
spend up to that limit. Then as long as you pay it back and you establish a good payment history, then you can start establishing credit for yourself. So I had to get one of
Okay.
those credit cards and I just used it. And I was like, well, what do I do with these? Like, use it for groceries, use it for shopping, and then pay it at the end of every month. So you'll establish a credit score for yourself. So I did,
Okay.
but I didn't have it. Also, I didn't have an income. So I couldn't get a mortgage of my own because I didn't have an income.
The income to back it.
My husband had a good income, so we had a hefty mortgage. I had the money to pay for it, but they couldn't just turn it over to me, in my imaginary world. And also, I didn't have a job.
Yeah.
So it's hard. And this is
That's
what
a lot. And that's you don't think about all that stuff, but
I
that's a
know.
lot.
I know. And I'm hoping one day, I'm not into politics at all, but one day there should be something where women or people who stay at home and raise a family and support their spouse that's out there working or their partner that's out there working, we should be legitimized because
Yeah.
God forbid things happen, and they do. Disease, illness, accidents, sudden medical events, this is part of life. And we're stuck with nothing at the end of the
Right.
day. We have no identity in the real world of things.
Which is crazy because, like you said, your name is on stuff. Like you exist as a person, but to society or to the banks, it's just like you don't exist. That's a scary feeling to have.
Very
And then
scary.
being told that you lost your spouse, you're being told that you were responsible for these kids.
Yeah,
It's just like, Lord, what's next? Like, what else are
exactly.
you giving me?
Exactly.
Um,
At first, you're really just functioning and you're powering through. Your grief is over here.
yeah,
You have bills to pay. You've got kids to focus on. I mean, you're just functioning. You're just
right.
that's it. Your eyes on the prize all day long, and it's a very weird. You're not in your body. It's an out of body experience. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what would be like your advice to like a woman who's looking at rebuilding her life? What would be like the first step she would take?
The first step you would take is find out if you exist in the credit world. That's as awful as
Okay.
that sounds. This is America. Our credit score matters, whatever. So find out if you exist in the credit world. If you do
Okay.
not, get yourself one of those, I don't know what they're called, but it's what people who have to reestablish themselves credit wise get. It's just like a self-pay credit card or something. I just don't remember what it's called. Take out
Okay.
the balance that you can, $500, $250, whatever it is, and then get that card. They will give it to you, no problem. You just have to send them the money, and then
Right.
it's yours. And then be very diligent about not spending on it more than you can pay back, so that every month you've paid that back timely. And
Okay.
that is a small step in terms of the credit aspect. In terms of reestablishing yourself, if you haven't
Mhm.
worked in a long time, try to get part-time jobs,
Right.
little things that interest you. Because look, you've been running a household, so basically you've been running a company. You've
Hmm.
been managing
It's a
employees.
business.
Yeah,
Like,
right. I mean, you know what I mean? The employees are the kids, yourself, your
yep.
spouse, whatever. So you've been running a company. And so look at the favorite things you like to do. Okay, I loved planning parties for my kids or my husband or whatever. I loved cleaning the house. I loved
Hmm.
cooking. I loved managing the schedule. All of these things are talents that you can then apply into the business world. You could be an administrative assistant. You could be an
Right.
events planner. You could be a publicist. You could be a teacher. You could be a caregiver. You could be a housekeeper, a house
Right.
manager, whatever you want. You could open a cleaning business. When you have to rebuild your life, there is no shame in what you need to do. What you need to do to
Seriously.
survive, you got to do it. Sometimes,
Exactly.
yeah, I mean, it's not pretty, but it doesn't matter. So my theory was, okay, if money somehow disappeared, the first thing I would do is I would get a job in a supermarket, because I think you get a discount if you work at the supermarket on your food. We need
Okay.
food. So if we're really bare minimizing it here, get
Right.
a job at a supermarket when you know you have care for the children. So like my theory was my mom would take care of them at night and I would go work at a supermarket at night and get the discount and get our food that way and then make some money.
Nice.
Yeah, that
Okay.
was my plan. And then I would get a regular job during the day while they were in school. I didn't know what that was.
Okay.
Fortunately for me, my husband was a plastic surgeon and I didn't have to do those things, but I had a plan B ready
Yeah.
to go. And I had no shame. I was like, you know what? What's shameful is a mother who's not providing for her children. So I will do whatever it is. I didn't care. I was willing to
Yeah.
even start cleaning houses. I did not care because I
Yeah.
had to earn. And, when you're starting from ground zero, you'll do whatever it takes to build it up. But first, and also have no shame. Have no
Right.
shame. Because again, like I said, the shame is not providing for your kids and taking care of yourselves. That's the shame. Get out there, do what you need to do. No job is beneath anyone. And all jobs are important. So you do what you need. You need to go work on a construction site and hold the stop sign, do that. I
Yep.
don't care what
Do that. And they make good money to
they
hold that
do.
stop sign.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Right. In my area now, they're looking for highway workers. So, like, you know, you have to do what you have to do. And there's nobody stronger than a woman who's had to figure it out and start over midlife for whatever the reason is, career loss, it doesn't matter, kids, no kids, whatever. You've got to
Yes.
provide for yourself. So look at your credit, see if you exist in the credit world for women for people who have been stay-at-home parents. And then if you don't, you know what to do, get the self-pay credit card. Then if you don't have money, start talking to the bill companies. Tell the electric company what happened. Tell
Yep.
the mortgage company what happened. Tell the cable company what's happened. There usually is some kind of grace period for out of this world events. I'm not sure, but
Yep.
that's what I did before I could figure out which end was up and where money even was. I didn't even know.
Right.
So, and then, you'll get a bunch of copies of the death certificate if you're dealing with a death, because you've got to show them to
You got to
everyone under the
pass them
sun. Yep.
out.
Constantly.
Yep.
Like, you're handing them out like business cards. So you need a bunch of those if that happens. But, look, and then lean on family and friends to loan you money if that's the case. Again, have no shame. Hold your head up high and have grace for
Yep.
yourself. But if you need to ask for help, ask for help.
Ask, please.
Ask. You have no idea the kindness of strangers in this case. These days, people take out a GoFundMe. I had a friend whose wife just passed away, and he makes money, but not that much. And what she earned was very helpful to their lives. Our town, I think they wanted like $7,000 to pay for the funeral expenses. I think they raised well over $20,000. Strangers. Strangers. Yeah.
Yes. And when you put good out in the world, good always comes back. But I want to go back to something that Betsy said, because it was extremely important, is do not be ashamed. Do not ever be ashamed of your circumstances, because that you being ashamed and that fear of what other people will think will hold you back from what you need to do, whether it's with a loss or whether it's with building a business. So do what you have to do. Like Betsy said, like if you're a mom, especially moms, like at the end of the day, we have to show up, and we can't pour from an empty cup. We have to be able to provide for ourselves, but then be able to provide for the little people. So it's extremely important that you put that pride aside. And just remember, like, even if you're busting tables or a waitress, it's only temporary.
That's right.
You can build your goals and do what you have to do, but you have to take care of like the little situations now in order to move forward. And we've all been low. The millionaires that you see in front of you, you may see like the highlight reel, how perfect everything looks, but I promise you it couldn't have always been like that.
That's right. Yeah. Talk to any of them. The majority of the richest people in the world started dirt poor.
Yep. Bankruptcies, like all types of stuff. And you don't see that again. And so that's what I'm using this platform too, to like let people know, like, it's okay. Like, it's okay to go through things. You can bounce back. You can build from it. You can start from the ground and build something beautiful that you believe in, that can create like a legacy for your family.
That's right.
You just have to have a little bit of hope.
Yeah.
Yep.
Always, and there are going to be days. Hope is critical. Hope is what's gotten me through to today. And there are days when you have no hope, and there are days when the hope disappears for a few hours, then it comes up again.
It comes back.
It always comes. It's there. I mean, it's God's grace. If you're a religious person, it's whatever. It's energy. It's the universe. If you want it, it's there. This is one of the most wonderful countries in the world, and anything is possible here. And women especially, we can do anything. A tree, these giant oak trees that last hundreds of years, these baobab trees that last hundreds and hundreds of years, they started from a little seed in the dirt, and all odds are against that seed. A squirrel could have eaten it, an animal could have eaten it, a bird.
The wind could have blew it away.
Correct. It could just never work. But that, you have to remember that. The mustard seed, right? We have to remember that.
The faith of a mustard seed.
Correct. That sometimes you're down to that, less than a mustard seed. It's the faith can dwindle that badly. But there should be no shame. And if anyone dares to look at you with a side eye, that's not on you. That's on them, and that is a them problem. That's not a you problem.
That's the internal, whatever they have going on, they're projecting on you. You do what you have to do at all costs. That's within morals. That you don't get rid of your values to provide for your family.
That's right. You just do it. And women do. And you have no shame, because there is no shame in cleaning a house. There is no shame in waiting tables. There is no shame in serving up someone their French fries. There is no shame in driving. These are jobs. These are legitimate jobs. I don't even know why we have this like, oh, I couldn't clean a house. You know what? If you don't have food on the table and you don't have clothing for your children,
you're going to do something.
Exactly. And clean it with pride. Like, it's as a realtor, I sometimes have to clean houses, and I do the best job I possibly can for these people. There's no shame in an honest day's work. No shame.
Exactly.
What you do.
Yes. Look, clock it, as the kids say. Yes. So how did you feel like, I know that we talked before and you said that you had moved away and then moved back to New York after your husband had passed.
Yes.
How was that? How did that play like a role in your reset?
So that was really helpful. I stayed in we were living in Santa Fe, New Mexico at the time for many years, and
Okay.
we had a plan. We were actually starting to enact our plan of slowly moving back to New York because we want our kids to have high school here in New York. As I always say, there's
Okay.
nothing like being shoulder checked on the side of the street in the city or in the subway to make a man
Okay.
out of you. So that was
Yeah.
our goal. So
Okay.
our plan was for them to go to public school here in New York. We just, decided, and we already knew where we were going to live. So I just finished our plan. But I didn't know how wonderful it would be for me to come back home. Santa Fe is my home, but
Yeah.
I'm a New Yorker. Like, you can take the New Yorker out of New York. You don't take New York out of the New Yorker. So I'm a New
No.
Yorker. These are my people. Like, I get
Yeah.
us. You know what I mean? I get us. We are a wild and crazy bunch, and we're not nice, but we're kind. If you're in pain, you have a problem, you're going to have a swarm of us all over you, helping you out. What can we do? Calling the police. Da, da, da. I mean, you see it happen all the time. Like, New
Yeah.
Yorkers show up. So there's nothing like us. And
Yeah.
I had no idea what a wonderful blessing it would be for me to come back here, because New York has always done right by me. New York has always shown up for me. New York has always blessed me with so much, so many opportunities. And
So much love,
so
like
much
you said.
love. Yeah. And I didn't, like, I grew up here, but like everyone I went to elementary school, I don't know. I know one of them still. High
Yeah.
school, I knew they were all here, but I didn't really keep in touch with most of them. So I didn't have any real connections here. And my brother and sister moved away, and my mother was with me. So she and I came back. My dad died many years ago. So I didn't have any connections here anymore. I just was connected to New York.
Yeah.
And to, like Frank Sinatra says,
It's
you can make it
home.
here. Yeah, you can make it anywhere. So like I knew how to hustle. I knew how to do what I need to do. I
Yeah.
found my pathways, and I found real estate. And
Yes.
yeah, so it's you don't give up. And in real estate, there are months when you don't make any money. So you learn how to stretch a dollar very far.
Very, very
Very
far. And
far.
then you look back and like, heck, how did I make $5 last for the
Yeah,
entire week when I needed
because you
gas,
just
groceries?
do.
You
Correct.
just do. Like I
Somehow. Yeah.
look back. My son is 15, and I'm just like, I don't know how I kept you alive for 15
Yeah.
years, but I just did.
You
Like,
did, because you're a woman and you're a mother and
yep.
you're strong. I mean, I'm telling you, men can't deliver babies. They can't even have
Oh
their
my
periods. And I
Exactly.
love men. Like, I love men all day long, but they are not the stronger sex. We are.
Yeah,
We
we
can
are.
do
We
it.
endure so much.
Yes, a man's wife dies, he's off trying to find someone to keep him company. A woman's husband dies, we are alone, and we are doing it
Devastated.
alone until we're ready. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
it's
that takes time.
takes time. Yeah.
So for entrepreneurship, what drew you to like that path, especially into real estate?
Yes. So, I realize I've always been a little bit entrepreneurial. I do enjoy a corporate job. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I enjoyed my publicity days. I was always a very good girl. I did what, was told, but I had an
Yeah.
entrepreneurial spirit because in publicity, you have to be very creative. You're not given the ideas. Sometimes you are, but when you have an account, they're relying on you. So you have to have a
Yeah.
broad, wingspan, so to speak. I
Right.
mean, broad sense of what's going on. So, and also my husband was a doctor, so we started his practice. That's a business in and of itself. We ran that,
Nice.
did that, and we did well with that. I've just always been kind of entrepreneurial, and I knew about real estate because I had built with a builder and designed my own houses out in New Mexico, and then I would sell them.
Nice.
Yeah. So I did that. It's like, right? What are you good at? What are you good at? You just take stock of
Yes.
what you're good at in your home life, and then you apply that to the real world. So when I moved back here, the broker I was working with said, wow, you really know a lot about houses, and you know a lot about real estate. Do you have to work? And I was like, I do. Why? And she said, how about real estate as a career? And I was like, it actually never occurred to me to do it for other people. I just had been doing my own stuff on my own with our own houses. And I was
Right.
like, oh, what's that like? So I interviewed, and I got the job, and it's been a wild ride ever since, but it is so rewarding because in real estate, I only do residential. I don't like commercial. If I get commercial business, I refer it. But you
Okay.
really can be the mom. You can be the caretaker, and you have to keep your eye on all the markets. Finance affects it. The wars affect us.
Yeah.
Local stuff affects us. So like everything affects the housing market, but yet everyone always needs a house, whether it's a rental or
Exactly.
to own. So the housing market's never going to go away. We were always going to be in business. And
Right.
but you just have to be very creative also, especially in a highly competitive market like where I am. Here I was, I had no foundation here. I had no ties to the community. I had to invent this business out of thin air, and I did, and I did it well.
Okay.
And I got creative with marketing. I just met a lot of people. I shook a lot of hands, but it's more than that. So when you're an entrepreneur, you want people only do business with people they know, like, and trust, right? And
Yep.
and whether you're selling a shampoo or someone's house, like, it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
As an
They
entrepreneur.
buy into you before they buy into what you
Correct.
sell.
Correct. Exactly, Victoria. Excellent point. And
Mhm.
so they know inauthenticity. So if you're just running around, hey, how you doing? I'm Betsy. Hey, how you doing? They're like, we've seen this before. Get out of here, right? So
Yep.
I found things that I love, and I volunteered in those areas, and I got to know people authentically, got my
Mhm.
name around. I mean, I am still at the bottom of the totem pole here as far as real estate
I
goes.
don't believe that.
But I'm coming up though, and I know that, and but this is a very established area, and people, again, they want to go with the history, the people who've been here for a very long time, and God bless
Yeah.
them. That will be me one day. So, that's
Yes.
fine. I'll have my turn. But it's just, as an entrepreneur, you've just got to meet a lot of people, find who your people are, dive into what
Yes.
interests you personally, meet people with like minds and commonalities, and show up. Show up as your
Yes.
brand. You are your brand. The minute you leave your house in the morning, you're on stage. Like,
Yep. And people are watching. They may not say anything. They may
correct,
not like your post, but
correct,
people are
correct.
always watching.
Always watching, always watching. So anything online that you do, like, as realtors, we're not allowed to comment on politics. So even though there are things that I see, I'm like, oh my God, I cannot comment.
You cannot talk about it.
Cannot. So,
Yeah.
it's just, you've got it. You are your brand. And that's something for entrepreneurial mindsets to
Very true.
understand. You're your brand. I don't care if you're in the supermarket line, if you're pulling your garbage can back, you're your brand. You're your brand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when you look back at this journey over the past 15, 20 years, what do you feel like it has taught you about resilience and strength?
Wow, I'm tired. Let's just put it that way. Tired.
Stop!
I'm tired. That's what it's
No.
funny. But as women, we are just, it's in our DNA. We are resilient.
Yeah.
We know how to get thrown down and pop back right up. And that's just
Yeah.
what you just have to keep showing up for yourself first. If the hardest thing you do on one day is sit up and put your little feet on the floor, and that's your win for the day, let that be your win. Pat yourself on the
Yes.
back. We don't have to run a marathon every single day. That's not required.
No.
So care for yourself first, because like you said, Victoria, you can't pour from an empty cup. It is the truest statement. And you've got to fill yourself up, and you're not always going to be able to fill yourself up every day. It's just not possible.
No.
Sometimes life is really hard, and
Yes.
you can feel it, and you can honor the weight and do what you need, like snuggle up on your couch with your favorite blanket, snuggle up with your favorite pet for the day if you can do that. Or if you can't do that, then for an hour, whatever you can do. If you're in your car and you're like, you have a minute, there's a stop sign, it's a long line of cars, take a breath. Like, these
Yes.
little moments, if it goes down to micro moments, take those moments for yourself to breathe, to release, to build yourself
Yes.
back up again, to go out and do the next thing. But just keep going. That's my advice.
Yes.
Keep going. Not every day is going to be the same, and not every day is going to be strong. But every day you wake up, try and do one thing to.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes. And like you said, every day will not be 100% because you just can't do it. Some days you just have to be okay with giving 20%.
That's
Some
right.
days it may be 200%.
That's right.
But whatever percentage it is, just put your best foot forward. Like you said, if it's just putting your feet on the ground, if that's your best that you can give physically, mentally, and emotionally, then that's just going to have to be okay for the day. And
Correct.
you're just going to, try again the next day, and just every day continue to do 1% a little bit better, a little bit different,
Yes.
until you look up and it's just like you've changed your whole life.
Yep.
1% every day.
Yeah. And that's how I've done it. It's just, my mantra to myself is keep going. And not again,
Yes.
like, again, I give in. So there are days when I'm like, and in real estate, I don't have to be at a job every single day, which is great. But
Right.
there are days when I'm like, I'm on the couch.
Yeah.
I'm still working on my phone or my computer, but I don't want to see anybody. I don't want to talk to anybody. I
I want to be right here.
Yep.
Yes.
I do
And
it.
that's okay.
Yeah, it's self-care. So self-care is important, and keeping
Yes.
going. Again, even if it's 1%, but you did that 1%. Just keep
That's all
doing
you
it.
need.
Yep.
So, what does stepping into your empowered era mean to you after everything that you've been through?
So that's a great question. My empowered era is, here's a notion that we've all heard.
Mhm.
You have completed every single one of your worst days till now. And that to me is a very
Yeah. Now that was
insightful message.
good.
Yeah.
That was good.
I took that from someone else, and I didn't even say it perfectly, but if you look it up, like, you have made it through all of the other impossible days to get to
Sure.
today. We've done it. And we all have. You have, who's ever watching and listening, we've all done it. You have made it through your worst days. And that to me is how I am entering my era of
I need to
empowerment.
write that one down.
Yeah.
What was that
Yeah,
again?
you've made it through every single one of your worst days. You have.
Yeah.
You wake up, you're like, oh my God, this is the worst day ever. How am I going to do this? Yet here you are. You made it, and I guarantee you it wasn't as bad as you thought it would be, or maybe it was, but you made it through. That right
Exactly.
there is huge empowerment for every single one of us. Huge. That's how I
I
enter
love
my
that.
empowered era. I've made it through every single one of these miserable days for the past 15 years. And I'm here.
I'm trademarking that as your
There you go.
as your
You
quote
didn't
because
come
I
from
love
me. Yeah. I came from
yeah,
somewhere else. I've seen it
like
all
it
over
was
the
Betsy.
TikTok. Yeah.
No, but that's
Yeah.
very true. If you are alive and you can watch this and you can take another breath, you have survived. So
Yes.
why don't you think that you can survive again?
Yes, survive, and then you're thriving.
Yes.
That's also what I've entered into, Victoria, in my time of now empowerment. I'm done surviving. I've done that. I've survived. I'm here.
Thrive.
Now it's time to thrive, and I owe it to myself.
Yes.
And we owe it to ourselves when we've got it all, for the most part, in place and figured out. Stop surviving. Stop grabbing on. Stop coming from a place of lack. Even if you don't know where your rent payment is going to come from or your mortgage payment, stop coming from a place of lack. Come from a place of, I'm going to thrive today. I'm going to
Mhm.
thrive today. I'm going to go
I'm
and
gonna
see
have $1 million
myself.
in my bank account today.
That's right. That's right. I
And then
mean,
go check
that's right.
you have
That's
to
right.
speak things into existence and
That's
people don't
right.
realize like the power of what you say can really control everything.
And your
your
thoughts.
your thoughts. Yeah, see, your
Yep.
thoughts, your mindset. You have to just constantly spew positivity. And there was one of the pastors that I listened to, and he was like, okay, try to count to 10 in your head. So you try to count to 10, and then he was like, say your name. And like when you say your name, you stop thinking. So whenever you get those negative thoughts, just say something immediately to just stop.
I like that. I
Yes.
like that. We don't
Yep.
deserve those terrible things we say to ourselves, and we all do it.
Nope. Mhm.
I am the
I just
worst.
did it yesterday.
Yeah, yeah. That was me
It happens.
driving a half an hour ago in the car, or an hour ago in the car. That was me saying
Yeah.
something really mean to myself. I said it,
Yep.
but I'll apologize later, whatever. But I got myself out of it. I was like, you know what? Stop that, you idiot. I said that again. Why are you so mean to yourself? Like, this is fine. All good. Like this is a constant thing. But
Yeah.
yes, it starts with the thought. It starts with the speech. Speak it
Yes.
into existence. And it doesn't mean it's
I
going
love
to
that.
happen tomorrow. Like, okay, don't get it twisted. It's not going to happen tomorrow. But over time, I have spoken where I am today into existence
Yes.
over the past 15 years.
Yes.
You
And it's
know?
like you've prayed yourself to these situations, but
Correct.
sometimes we don't take the gratitude we need once we get there because we're too busy trying to go on to the next thing. But if you
Correct.
really sit, it's like you're living in what you prayed for.
Yes.
So
I
just
love
really
that. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And
It's true.
reflecting. So
Yeah,
that's
it's
huge.
true. And that's why I love doing the podcast too, because
Yes.
it validates everything. Like, I really enjoy talking mostly with women. There are a few men that I like talking to who get us and who are, cool.
Yeah.
But I really I'm not into the man spreading men. Like, those are not my people.
Yeah.
But anyway, so as I
Me
speak
neither.
to more and more, yeah, no, thank you. You can close your legs. Okay. Anyway, ain't nothing that big in there that you need to be taking up pieces with you. Okay, buddy. Sorry. We know. No. But I love it because when we do podcasts and we meet other women and other people, it's
Mhm.
so we just see that we're not alone, that no matter what the
Yes.
outside looks like, we all have the same struggles as humanity.
Yes.
And there's the common threads of our lives, and they're all the same. No one escapes any of this.
Nope.
They don't.
So if they tell you they do, they're lying because it's
You don't
not
want to know them.
possible.
Correct. They're drinking and drugging it away, and God bless them. And they're at the country club doing it, and those are not my people. But like, I like real people, and I love,
Yeah.
feeling validated, validating other people, because we see the struggle is very real, but we have to stop
Yes.
thinking of it always, okay, as a struggle. And like, okay, like we said, we're going to go from lack into prosperity, from
Yes.
surviving into thriving. And that should be
Yes.
thrive, feel good today. What's it going to cost you to feel good today? Nothing.
Exactly. To smile,
Yes.
to ask someone, to say hello, like just
Yeah.
put more kindness out in the world. And
Yes.
you could change like the trajectory of someone's day. You don't know if
Yes.
they were just at wit's end and just a pleasant hello has
Yep.
made them feel like they're loved, hope.
Yep.
Like you just never know because people
don't
suffer
know.
in silence all the time. So
All the
just be
time.
kind. Like that's what I tell everyone. Just be kind. It does not cost you anything.
It costs you nothing. And listen, I'm in New York, right? So there are people who are nasty. Okay, we are New Yorkers. I do too. But I don't respond anymore to that. I'm like, wow, you must be having a rough day. So I just let them go on with their bad selves,
Yeah.
their bad day. You know what I mean? Or like, if someone wants to like race in front of you in the car, I'm like, listen, you know what? If that's your win for today and you need that,
You can have it.
Yeah, have it. God bless you. Yeah,
Yes.
You never know what's
Well,
yeah.
thank you so much for coming on here. It has been an absolute pleasure. I know I have learned stuff. I did write down the Betsy quote. I know. Let me stop.
Okay. Seen it
The
everywhere. I love
to
it.
me, look, but this is huge. And I'm going to remind myself of this. And anybody that I know who's going through a bad day, I'm going to let them know because this is important. This could be game changer.
It's huge. It was huge for
seriously.
me. I repeat it all the time. Every worst day you've had, you've made it through.
Yes.
Made it through, and you're here to tell the tale.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you for coming on the show. And how can everyone reach you? Like if they want to like listen into your podcast, just reach out to you if they want to like more information, support, anything like that. Real estate? Are you just licensed in New York or are you licensed other places too?
Okay. No, New York. And then if someone likes to work with me in Connecticut, I have partners there that I can work with as well. Yeah.
That's good to know. So two of my best friends, one is in New York and then the other one's in Connecticut. So that's good to know. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So how can they reach you?
Thank you. So let's see. Instagram is just type in Betsy Ronell on Instagram. It'll come right up. I don't even know my account name. I think it's Betsy Ronell Real Estate and Life. Yeah. And then the podcast is Heavens to Betsy. Let's Talk Midlife. That's what it is. Yeah. And it's on Spotify and Apple and, it's out there.
Yes. So then, of course, like everybody, I'll have the links and everything below. But again, please reach out to Betsy if anything resonated with you and it may help you get through whatever situation that you're going through. And then as always, Women Empowerment Wednesday, I absolutely love just promoting women, providing a platform. So if you want to come on here, have girl talk about entrepreneurship, motherhood, life transitions, whatever it is, I'm here for you all. So I'll drop all that information below, but that's another Wednesday. So have a great rest of your day, guys.
Thank you so much, everybody. Have a good one.